There are many Australian government grants and funding opportunities available to businesses. Avant Group is helping businesses to actually navigate these kind of opportunities as well, because it can be overwhelming and businesses might not know what they are eligible for as well. Kate Whitehead joins me in the studio for more on this. Kate, tell us a little bit about the initiatives and the funding that is available to businesses at the moment.
Thanks, Holly. Look, there are quite a few different government grants available and programs and incentives. At any point in time, there'd be anywhere between 2,000 to 4,500 different grants that would be open or due to open. The government provides incentives through major, large-scale capital investment grants for things like competitive programs for manufacturing investment. We also see very, very large initiatives around exports, trying to increase and to enable and aid and assist organisations to take their products and services into overseas markets. And there's also a very large remit from the government to invest into research and development initiatives and incentives.
Is there enough communication between governments and businesses at the moment in regards to those grants and initiatives? Do businesses know what they're eligible for? Or I guess that's where you guys step in.
I'd say probably in the most part, they probably don't realise how much is actually available to them, to be honest. Some companies are fairly sophisticated in investing the time and having a look, but the information's fairly fragmented throughout all the different government department websites, and so it's very hard to sort of navigate through that process. So yeah, we certainly do assist with that, but you know, as I said, there's a lot out there, so it's certainly worth the time to investigate it.
Absolutely. Now, having the right business structure, I can imagine, is critical here to ensuring that you are eligible and getting all the systems moving, I guess. Talk to us a little bit about having the right business structure.
So a lot of people, well, there are a lot of programs that the government provides that are incentive-based and entitlement. So if you are appropriately structured, then you're entitled to that funding. But we do meet a lot of organisations down the track, and whilst the activities that they're doing would form or conform with eligibility of government grants, unfortunately at that stage they may not be appropriately structured. So what we like to do is meet companies very early on when they're starting a new program or they're investing into growth initiatives, and then actually assist them on that structuring process to make sure that they've got the appropriate methods and collation for documentation to support any grant claims, and then also just as their legal structures conform with the requirements under the legislation.
Wonderful. Now, talk to us a little bit about the pandemic and what that has done for businesses. We know thousands of businesses have been struggling, obviously, to survive this time, but what sort of shift are we seeing here in regards to grants and everything like that at the moment?
Pandemic's an interesting one because in the past we used to see a lot of government initiatives, they would never actually focus on what we'd call a business as usual activity. So they were always looking to invest in growth and enabling new jobs and investment into capital infrastructure, for example. But over the past 2 years, we've certainly seen money being given out to businesses for sustainment and just sort of keeping them alive and ticking along. As we're shifting out of that and the lockdowns are being removed and companies are reopening and we are returning to a level of normality in a sense, we are actually seeing that shift away from sustainment is going back into those growth initiatives, and we'll see that also more so as we head into the election. So the federal election pegged for Q1, Q2 next year, we'll see a lot more investment into economic growth and stimulus as opposed to just keeping the lights on in business operations.
Yeah, so it's moved from that survival mindset to sort of in that economic growth and being resilient and bouncing back. Now talk to us a little bit about, I guess, the supply chain issues and how much strain that's putting on businesses as well. We follow that closely here at Ticker. It's obviously having devastating impacts on multiple sectors. How does that impact you guys?
We're seeing that quite a lot, and it still is a big problem. So again, throughout the pandemic, we've seen some government funds and initiatives that have been specifically directed at supply chain enablement activities to try and, unlock or increase that international trade. But unfortunately, it's very difficult. So, we are seeing that there probably will be some additional investment in that space moving forward. But there has also been a real shift to sovereign capability. So we're seeing the government and even a lot of businesses that are becoming quite sort of patriotic around investing into local capability, which I think is great. So I don't think that will change anytime soon. I think over the next couple of years that will continue that trend.
Yeah, remarkable, isn't it? Sort of going more local as well in regards to investment. Kate, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for having me. Cheers.